Hi everyone, my name is Josie and I work at St Paul's Cathedral, and I am joining Barbican's fun day with you guys today to do a craft activity with you inspired by St Paul's Cathedral and its magnificent dome. Now, if you haven't been to St Paul's Cathedral before, I'm sure you might have seen it perhaps in a picture or in the London skyline. Maybe you visited with your family or with your school, and it is a big, beautiful old building in the centre of London. It has an enormous dome with a little cross on top. And that cross reminds us that St Paul's Cathedral is a church. It is a place where lots and lots of Christian people come to pray and worship, but it's also a building with fantastic historical stories, beautiful architecture, and people come from all over the country and all over the world to explore, learn and pray in St Paul's Cathedral. The St Paul's Cathedral that I'm in right now, the one that I've been talking about, has been here for over 300 years, and it was built by an architect called Sir Christopher Wren, because old St Paul's Cathedral that was on this spot before was destroyed in a terrible event that affected London in 1666. Do you think you know what that event might have been? Have a chat with your family and friends at home and see if you can figure out between you what disastrous event happened in London in 1666. If you all shout in the Great Fire of London, then you're absolutely right. The Great Fire of London destroyed old St Paul's Cathedral, and this cathedral with Wren's magnificent dome was the one that replaced it, that has been here for all of those years. The dome itself actually weighs over 65,000 tons. That's the same as 65,000 elephants floating in the air. It took over 35 years to build, but it has been here ever since. However, it hasn't always been smooth sailing for the cathedral and its very, very heavy dome. Back in the 1920s, they thought the dome might collapse. They thought the dome might collapse so much so that the cathedral was served with a dangerous structure notice and it had to close. And an architect and surveyor of the fabric at St Paul's called Mervyn McCartney and his team had to come in and think really fast in how they were going to repair and save St Paul's Cathedral for future generations. The public was so worried that St Paul's Cathedral might collapse that in the Times newspaper they printed this picture of what St Paul's might look like without its famous dome. And I thought this was a great idea for us to inspire our activity today, because they were so worried that the dome might collapse. Luckily it didn't, because Mervyn McCartney and his colleagues saved the cathedral, and we're still able to gaze in wonder at it today, and even if you come and visit, climb to the top. But just to think about and use our imaginations today, I thought we could think about what it'd be like if St Paul's Cathedral didn't have their dome, and that they were looking for amazing architects like yourselves to come up with an amazing idea and design a magical, exciting, fantastic dome for London. So that is what we're going to create today. So for our activity today, we are going to create our own St Paul's, but it's not going to be any St Paul's, it's going to be a silly St Paul's. And the sillier and more out of the world your ideas are for a brand new dome for St Paul's, the better. Perhaps you would like to have a big roller coaster in the centre of London coming through the dome, or perhaps, because it's been so hot lately, you'd love a water slide to roll off the dome and land in the River Thames perhaps. Or maybe you would like a dome that has a space shuttle attached and it can lift off and go to the moon and land again. Who knows? I'm sure you will be able to design amazing ideas. But what you'll need to make your base before you start designing your amazing silly St Paul's domes is you'll need a piece of plain paper, A3 or A4 is absolutely fine, and some loo roll holders. You'll perhaps need some scissors, you'll need a little bit of glue, and then lots of decoration material, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. For our base, you're going to glue your loo roll holders down. I've used 4, you can use 6 if you want to, if you've got enough, but 4 is absolutely fine. Stick them down and then you're going to draw or sketch your dome on top. You can get an adult at home to help you with this, or perhaps use a plate and just sketch your dome on top so you have your outline of a dome and pillars. Once you've done that, you're then going to think of your idea and design it. But what I'd really like you to do is use all kinds of different materials. When Mervyn McCartney was saving the dome in the 1920s, he had to think of special materials to use to make it strong and make it stable. Perhaps you want to choose materials that suit your dome and what it's going to do. So I thought I'd show you mine first. Now mine isn't as imaginative as I'm sure yours will be, but I thought in all this hot weather, what I'd really love if St. Paul's Cathedral was made of strawberry ice cream. So I have made a dome that is a strawberry ice cream cone, and I've even added a flake. Now the materials I chose for mine were things I just had lying around. A little bit of cardboard, some paper, some crepe paper and some shiny gold paper. And I wanted it to pop off the page as much as possible. So I've used all kinds of different materials and scrunched them into balls to make them look really 3D, and that's what I'd love yours to be like too. And try and use materials that you can find around the home. Perhaps paper, newspapers and magazine cutouts. Maybe if you don't have gold foil like this, don't worry, use kitchen foil and that will make it really nice and shiny. Perhaps you can use leaves and flowers and twigs that you can find out in the garden or outside in the park, or even finding cotton wool buds if you want to make it really fluffy and textured. You could use coloured paper, you could use glitter, you could use pasta, any kinds of things that you can find around the house to make your 3D dome pop out, your silly St. Paul's and your design. So I'm going to put that to one side. And I would like you guys to start creating your own. Use your imaginations, the sky's the limit, the more outrageous the better to make your silly St. Paul's domes. And luckily, we don't have to design a new dome for St. Paul's because Mervyn McCartney saved it. And I hope you can all come and visit St. Paul's Cathedral one day and marvel at the dome yourself, perhaps even climb to the top. If you'd like to share your silly St. Paul's with us and your magnificent design domes, then please do tag us in Twitter at St. Paul's Edu, and tag us, get your adult take a picture and pop it online, and we'll have a look at all the incredible things that you've created, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them. And I really hope you can come and visit us for our Kids Go Free this summer and join in some of the activities we have going on in the cathedral. Really look forward to seeing you then, and enjoy your silly St. Paul's activity. Thank you very much. Bye.